Love and immunity, beloveds. Back on here again because God put this on my heart a couple of days ago, but I was not obedient to the calling. So over the last couple of days, God has been sending me these messages. And today I got the third one. I usually use God's confirmation in the Trinity. Once I get it three times, once it comes to me three times on some form of existence, then if I don't get the clarification right then and there, sometimes things come to me in manipulation. Sometimes things come to me in to distort my own understanding and my own perception. So sometimes I have to see it three times in order to follow through with it. Not that I'm being disobedient, I want to take that back, but sometimes I won't act on everything that God tells me because I've been through a lot of manipulation in my life, and I know the trickery of my own ego. So if I know the trickery of my own ego, I know the trickery of everybody else's ego. It's not worthy of itself in me. So it's not going to be worthy of itself in anybody else, beloveds. And this is what gives me a discernment to know that three is a charm, as everything represents the Trinity of life. So when I see it three times, then I know that this is God truly trying to get me to speak on the testament of life. Um, this one came to me today, and this is something that it is something that we have to understand. It has been done, um, but we must remember, I came to give you life. And why I say that we must all understand that it should be against the law for anyone to govern us that does not know the law of life. This is why I tell you this, because your mind is a weapon formed against life. This is why it says the mind is carnal. And anybody operating outside of life, I came to give you life. That's all. This whole kingdom, the whole Trinity represents life, beloveds. And if anybody is operating outside of that Trinity, they are the power of death. Surely, if you eat from the knowledge of that tree, you are going to die. I mean, we have a warning. And not only do we have a warning, why? Because I came to give you life. Many of us don't even know the understanding of life. You know the understanding of the body and the mind, but you have no understanding of what created those two and how to govern those two according to life. So anybody who's governed us according to that, this is what you have. Let me tell you, this is what happens when you give your authority over to false prophets. I want you to see this based on this understanding. This is what God revealed to me a while ago, and I did not act on it because this is very sensitive to me, because I know so many people that I love. But I put that in God's hands. But I know not everybody has the authority over life. Not everybody has the faith of the mustard seed of life. And it does not happen overnight, beloveds. It just does not happen overnight. And this is something that we must understand when we are messing with powers and principalities. We are coming against life itself. When we put our life in the hands of anything that is not the power of life, surely if you eat from that knowledge, you will die from it.
I'm a double vaccinated healthcare worker, and I'm a freedom fighter. There's so many of us out there that weren't awake when we took the jab, and we regret it, and we know all this information, and it's terrifying. It's terrifying to be this awake and to regret our decisions. And today, I go for a second mammogram for suspicious findings. And I'm terrified because I know the risks, and every day I wake up in fear. So go easy on us, okay? Because there's so many of us out there. And we're scared. And we need to come together. All of us. I love you.
One thing
I'm a double vax.
One thing about life is it's its own immunity. Life does not see us as an infection. Life does not see us as COVID. Life does not see us as cancer. Only the knowledge of that mentality does. See, you have to remember that mind is over matter. The molecule forms into the matter. So if you tell your mind anything that's not of life, the molecule will turn that into matter, regardless. If we believe this, we understand this, we know this, beloveds. Ask, and it shall be given. You are messing with a law called life, and anything we ask this life to grant us, whether it is ignorance, whether it is anything. I came to give you life when I tell you, I do not accept anything but life. Nothing. Nothing. I mean nothing. It's people right now who probably hate me because I will not portray myself as a black woman or as anything but life. Why? Because the minute I let something enter into my kingdom, I now must abide in its conformity. Do not be conformed by the world, but stay renewed in my mind. Your mind is a life, a force of life. It's a power and a principality. And the minute I give that power and principality a command, surely if you eat, now my blood has to eat that command. And now my blood will give life to that command. But it's not going to give life to that command in the world. It's going to give it to me. So I didn't forfeited my life. I forfeited my life to dishonor it for something that's not real. This is what the Matrix is all about, beloveds. That's what a matrix is about. It's about you letting something that's not living, something that's not real, a figment of your imagination come and turn itself into you. And this is what this lady wants us to be nice to her and people like her. We are nice. But you have to remember that people like that lady, and people who give you and other people's souls onto figments of their imagination, do you think the law of life is nice with them? Do you think the law of life is saying, oh no, I'm going to take it easy on you, when life made you its perfect image and its perfect testament of life, and you sacrificed it for what? To honor conformity? To honor something that cannot give you life? To honor something that is against life itself? Because inside of this kingdom, in your mother's womb, I knew you very well. Who brought you here? Life brought you here. This is why it says you have to have faith of a mustard seed, beloveds. You got to remember what seed you come from. You got to remember whose immunity you are in the substance of right now. And when you forfeit, when you sacrifice, when you hang it on the cross, when you deny it, and when you just hand it over in pure ignorance, you fighting against powers and principalities that you know nothing of, beloveds. Now you coming against life. You telling life, fuck off. You told life that. This is why sometimes it's like I don't sugarcoat anything. And a lot of people might think I'm harsh and I'm out. No. Do you think somebody telling me, making me live as a black woman all my life, abusing myself by that entity, by that AI, artificial intelligence, don't you think that was harsh? Somebody cursing me, turning me into a living curse, that's harshness. That's wickedness. That's evil. That ain't of God. That's not of life. That's not of truth. That's not of well-being. That's a curse upon itself. And so you see, but this morning I gave you the testament. That was happening in me. I was having to fight that battle. I was having to walk through the valley of that shadow of death all alone with nobody, with no one, all alone since I was a kid. Since I was 5 years old, I've been walking in a journey of darkness, abused by words, abused by figments of my own imagination, abused by doctrine, abused by things that are not living, abused by things that people just make up and make you eat of them, force you to eat of them, punish you if you don't eat of them, make you be afraid if you don't eat of them. See, that power and that principality called life, it's elemental, beloveds. It's elemental. And what happens is you cannot bring anything that's not living. We serve a living God. In your mother's womb, I chose you, beloved. Remember whose these eyes are. Remember whose this nose is. You don't take on anybody else's understanding. Do not be conformed by the world. Stay renewed in my mind. Isn't my mind life? Isn't my mind the directive of life? If it isn't my mind the book of life, what does a man profit if he gains the whole world? Here you are, accepting everything from the world. You just letting it give on to you, letting it give on to you. And then you lose your soul. So when it starts to attack, see, ain't nothing coming after life. I mean, ain't nothing coming after the world. Please forgive me. There's nothing coming after the world. It's coming after the soul. It's coming after life. And what life is an elemental kingdom. It's a Lord and Savior. So what it's going to save, it's going to save life. It ain't going to save the COVID-19 because the COVID-19 can't come into life. This is what we got to understand. The truth. The real truth, the living truth, the holy truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Life does not know you as anything but life. I and my Father are one. I came to give you life. How do we know this? Because blood, you alter that blood, surely if you eat from somebody else's knowledge. What is taking in that knowledge? Your blood is, your life is, and what your life is going to do, because it's an elemental kingdom, which means that it is a law. And if that law is not welcomed into this kingdom, it's going to destroy it. And remember, it's not taking place in the world, beloved. Life, all of life is taking place inside of this kingdom. You got to understand. It should be illegal for anybody who does not understand the law of life to lead life of any form. I don't care if it's the animal kingdom, the elemental kingdom, the plant kingdom, whatever life, natural life force that we govern according to its own elemental kingdom. If you don't understand that testament of life, if you don't know that it is an element, what is an element? An element is a law, which means that if we don't abide in it, it automatically destroys us. Automatically. It's no, oh, Father, forgive me for my sins. It's not none of that. It's not any of that. That does not work inside of an elemental kingdom. I came to give you life. I came to give you life. Like I didn't even come to give you life. I born you in a trinity of life. I gave you the armor of life. I gave you the mind of life. I gave you the book of life. So you don't need no other understanding, beloveds. I gave it all. I gave you dominion over it. I put it in your hands. And all I asked was you not to conform yourself to the world. I asked you, don't do that. Why? Don't eat from false prophets, idols, and statues and other gods. That is all life asked of us, beloveds. It didn't ask nothing else from us. Nothing else. This is why Jesus said, you need the truth. You need the truth. Because you're not free. Why you not free? Because you're not living in life. You're not governing yourself according to life. Life would never imprison its own self. And why are you imprisoned? Why are you imprisoned, beloveds? Because you cannot enter into your own kingdom. So your own kingdom, which is your own life, is trapping you in the nervous system. Your lethal weapon. You can't come up in the elemental kingdom with that type of toxicity inside of your immunity. See, we are a power and a principality called life. I came to give you life. That is a power and a principality, which means I'm existence, beloveds. I am existence. And if you don't govern yourself according to what? Life. I mean, come on, beloveds. We've been guaranteed, we've been granted, we've been born. I mean, we couldn't ask for nothing more worthier. We couldn't be inside of nothing more worthier. When you lay your head down at night in life, when you can rest in peace in life, when you can stand still and know that life is your only testament, and all you don't even have to worry about it. You don't even have to question it. You don't have to do nothing. I and my Father are one. And I came to give you life. In your mother's womb, I know you very well. So to accept anything that is coming against your life, or to believe that anything can come against your life, to just believe that anything can come against your life, anything, and you were born in the very fabric, the genetic makeup, in the bloodline of life itself, and you to accept something else to come into this kingdom and tell you that something is coming against your life, that's not faith. That's not a child of the Most High. I would not be alive today, beloveds. I would not be alive today without the faith of a mustard seed. All my life I've been attacked with nobody in the world to help me, nobody in the world to go to, nobody in the world to understand me, but life. I can cry out to everybody in that world. I can write to the government. I can go to the police. I can go to everybody who say they here to help me and be denied by them. Have them tell me some type of excuse or why this is happening. And every time I went to life, I went to what we call God. Just like this. It was handled. This is why you ask God to have mercy over your soul. You got to ask God to have mercy over your soul, because many people don't have a soul. And this is not to be harsh. There's nothing more harsher than somebody labeling me, life itself, giving it a name that honors nothing but darkness, giving me a testament of life that tells me I'm not even a whole part of my own existence. There's nothing more harsh. There's nothing more painful. There's nothing more unjustly. So for me to speak the truth, for me to speak a truth that I can prove, that's biological, that's biology, and that's science, and many to be offended by it, many to be thinking that I'm being mean or angry, or many to think that I'm trying to say this or that, you got to see how things are reversed, how things are spelled, and how things are working against. It's not things, it's you. It's literally you. I came to give you life, beloveds. I came to give you life. Who came to give you life? In your mother's womb, I knew you very well. Who knew you very well? Don't you remember? If you've ever seen a baby being born, if you ever know the evolution or the biology or the anatomy of a life, a force of life, a force of nature being born, you know that it comes in the image of nothing. And then life an eye of the life, an eye of the nose, an eye of the limb, an eye. These are life forces. These are literally life forces that are creating these lips. These are its own life. Everything in this beautiful, beautiful creation called nature itself is life itself. I own no rights. I own no rights to life. I don't own no rights to these eyes. I don't own no rights to this nose. I don't own no rights to this elemental, beautiful. You see this color? This is an element. It's not black. It's not black. It's an element called life. And I own no right. I own no right to call it something other than what it is. I own no right to alter it or to change it or to tell it that life cannot honor its own testament. See, the minute I take myself and I alter me on any form, I'm altering me. Remember, beloved, in your mother's womb, I knew you very well. Who knew you very well? Don't you remember? Organ by organ, cell by cell, tissue by tissue, limb by limb. It created itself without anything of me understanding it. Remember, I wasn't even created then. I had no understanding of anything. It was its own life force. It was its own nature that created its own life. And a lot of y'all don't understand what you are now to this very fabric of life. You are against it. You have denied it. You have told it to fuck off. I don't want to be a part of your life. So when somebody forces you to inject, surely if you eat, remember what's eating. Remember what you feed, and when you put something else that's not your own nature, which is not its own life inside of this kingdom, remember what's eating from it. It's the blood that it's going to go inside of. You putting another foreign nature inside of a elemental kingdom, beloveds. You trying to alter somebody else's kingdom. You trying to come into somebody else's kingdom and thinking that they're not going to defend themselves. You thinking that life is going to let something that's trying to invade its own existence to come into this kingdom. You got to have life fucked up. I came to give you life. The battle was not yours. It's the Lord. Victory has already been won, beloveds. I'm like, you see, this is like, it should be illegal. It should be illegal to have anybody who is not operating in the very state of being of life to lead life. They have no understanding. They are ignorant. They are weapons formed against life. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much. You got to remember that this kingdom, the kingdom of heaven lives within, it belongs to itself. It does not belong to us. We are invaders. Your name is an invader. You being a sex is an invader to this existence. This existence is its own testament. And you cannot alter its existence, beloveds. Not me, not you, not the president, not the government, not religion, not pastors, not doctors, not lawyers, not the COVID-19, not cancer, not anything. Surely, if you eat from any other form of knowledge but the one that I am, I came to give you life. This kingdom that you are trying to bring something that is an invader to my existence, that is trying to destroy my genetic makeup, I will give you death. Beloveds, truth. You not coming against this little tiny gun or this little knife or this defiled understanding called doctrine or this little virus called cancer or COVID-19. You got something bigger to worry about. It's called life. And you see this kingdom right here, this kingdom, belongs to life. It don't belong to the day I try to call myself a name inside of this kingdom. Did you see what I just had to endure being a black woman? I was cursed upon my own nature. I was a sin upon my own existence, beloveds. Did you not understand? Every day when I come on here and I try to walk y'all out of the valley of the shadow of death, every day I try to uplift life, uplift the spirit of life, give y'all the truth, give y'all the elixir of life. You are messing with an existence of its own. All y'all out there don't know y'all adversaries to your own life. You coming against your own life. Do you understand? You living inside of this kingdom in your mother's womb. Who created you, beloveds? Who do you think this eye belongs to? Who do you think this body belongs to? The same thing that created your mama and her mama and her mama and her mama from day one into day to eternity. You got to serve but one master. What creates this? What creates every form of life? Life. So what gives you the power? Nothing. You are powerless. You don't even have an understanding. You're dumb. You're ignorant. And this is just the truth. Nobody wanted to hear the truth when I was saying it hurted. What you are doing to me is hurting me. And all I was trying to do was just live as I was. I'm internal. I can't live like you guys. I can't understand like you guys do. But I was led in fear. I was led in punishment. I was led in shame. I was led in guilt. I was led to not be able to sustain myself because I couldn't live by the world. But I couldn't go against life. Why would I go against something that I am? Then that would be sinful. That would be deadly. That would be the adversary. That would be victimization. That would be oppression. That would be hate. That would be evil. That would be injustice. You are living inside of somebody else's life. I came to give you life. You hear that? I came to give you life. Without life, I would not be present. I would not be able to speak these words without life. So why am I going to tell life about the COVID-19? Why am I going to tell life about race? Why am I going to tell life? No. I came to give you life. Now you living inside of my kingdom. In your mother's womb, I know you very well. Remember, you didn't grow not one form on this body. Life did. And each one of these limbs and organs and cells and tissues, they are their own testament. And they don't need not one word from your ass, not one doctrine from your ass, not one understanding from your ass, or my ass, or nobody's ass. I came to give you life. And not only did I come to give you life, I sent an angel before you, which is the Holy Spirit. Which means that it's already walking in your image, already knows what your life has been predestined to be. And if you don't conform me, if you don't take in somebody else's knowledge, you the tree of life. You my testament. You my image. You my likeliness. So when somebody says take it easy on them, and then it's for me to hear that lady, that's life. That's what my mom used to tell me. That's life. And now I truly get what she was saying. It used to, like, how could somebody tell me that? But truly, that's life. When you go against life, you get death. When you deny life, life denies you. When you take in somebody else's knowledge of life, life will destroy you because of it. You living in life's kingdom. You living in life's understanding. This is life's knowledge. My people perish. Do you know what perish means? My people died because they don't have no understanding of life. That's why you die. If you knew you were life, you could not die. It should be against the law for anybody that does not understand the law of life to lead us, because we will perish because of their false prophecies, because of their idolisms, because of their doctrine, because they are playing gods. You can't serve another master. How you gonna become God over God? Your name is telling God, fuck off. Your name is telling health, fuck off. Everything that you put in your image, you say, this is me. You telling tell him I am sent you. You telling I am to wage war against you. That's that eye for an eye, that tooth for a tooth. But at this present moment, when I came on here, it was about that message and what that lady was saying. Because God gave me this truth a while ago, and I just didn't put it out there because I didn't know if it was my ego talking to me or if it was God talking to me at the time. Sometimes I need to have more confirmation. And today for the last couple of days, I've been getting confirmation that it was God talking to me. And today it just revealed itself to me, this truth. You see, this is not me. I'm just a messenger of life. I'm just a messenger. I don't claim to be anything outside of life. I don't claim to be anything. I don't want to be. That burden that I had to carry against my own life was not worthy of me. Nobody can tell me to carry a burden in which I shouldn't have never had to carry. Life is already walking in its own image, in its own testament, in its own health, in its own well-being, in its own greatness, in its own mercy, in its own grace. And to tell it to be something other than that, and I got to bear the burdens, I got to be the transgression, the sin, the sickness, and the death for going against my own life that came to give me life in your mother's womb. I knew you very well. Yeah. Truth. Truth. Truth is love. Truth is love. Truth is life. Truth will heal every transgression and sin and release all those burdens, all that pressure, all that jealousy, all that hate, all that fear, all that punishment, all that rage, all that injustice, all that everything. Truth is peace. It's a peace. You will not ever accept anything but life to enter into this kingdom. It came to give you life, beloved. It don't believe in disease. It don't believe that COVID can do anything to it. Do you know you living inside of it's a testament called life? Don't you know I know how to take care of this life? Remember, in your mother's womb, I knew you very well. I know how to take care of life. And you got all these other gods out there playing God over it, telling it what to do, not realizing that they making you fight against powers and principalities that you will never win. You will never win. You will never win coming against your own life. You will never be healed coming against denying your own health. I mean, it's just, come on. This lady wants you to take it easy on her. Sweetheart, you done sold your soul to a figment of your imagination to honor somebody else's fear. Some people lead us in fear for no reason, just so they can play God over us, beloved. Some people don't have the greater good of life for us, and they're willing to sacrifice our lives. For what reason, I don't care. But when it comes to life, you can't go against it. Not me, not you, not God, not the pastor, not the government. No one can go against life, beloveds. And that you willing to wage war against life, that you willing to think that you're going to win life, that you willing to think that you're going to come against life, that you willing to sacrifice another person's life for a momentary achievement, a false perception. that you're willing to sacrifice your own life for something that's not real, and knowing that life is going to punish you for it. And it's not just going to punish you this lifetime, it's going to punish everything for generations to come. You're going to be a weapon formed against your own self. And anything that you touch, you plague. We can only serve one master, beloveds. Just one master. I came to give you life. And life don't require anything from us, beloveds, like nothing. Stand still. Just stand still, beloved. Know that I am God. In your mother's womb, I knew you very well. I already predestined you. I knew today that you, my beloved, you, my life, will be telling this testament onto life. Now, if I wouldn't have listened, I would not be telling this testament, but because I'm in my childlike spirit, I have no other, I don't know what else to do anymore, but just to let life lead me. The other way that the world was leading me, that wasn't life leading me. The world was leading me in burdens, in fear, in punishment. Like every day I wake up and I wasn't happy. I had my own people trying to hurt me. That's not life. That's not love. That's not immunity. That's not how we were supposed to come here. That's not what we're supposed to be enduring. That's not how God created us in his image and his likeness. I came to give you life. I came to give you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Help me God. Help me God. Help me life. We cannot take in anything but what we already are. You already living in the kingdom of heaven within. You already are life's in your mother's womb, beloved. I knew you. You see these eyes that you see through, those is mine. This whole beautiful testament, this body of existence is me. You don't have to fight no battles. You don't have to understand anything outside of you. You don't have to take in all those burdens. I have already predestined you. Why do you think you came from a genetic makeup? Why do you think that it's only one thing that can create every form of life? I can see if we had trillions of different things, but it's only one thing. I and my Father are one. There's no other foundation. There's no other structure. There's no other entity. There's no other nothing, but just one thing that makes up life itself. And that's life. And we refuse it. And why do we refuse it? Because we want to play God. You want to be God over God. That's what it means. Don't honor no other God. It's you. It's you waging war against life, thinking that life ain't going to. Surely if you eat from somebody else's knowledge, and I'm knowledge. My people perish because they don't understand I'm knowledge. You're dying because I'm killing you. You're dying because you don't accept my health and my immunity to life. You don't want my life. You've told me, fuck off life, fuck off health. That's life. You want to be all these doctrines. You want to be degrees. You want to be colors. You want to be races. You want to be sex. You want to be religions. You want to be politicians. You want to be all these things. But life don't know you by any of those things, beloveds. That's another form of knowledge. And that type of knowledge cannot live in this elemental kingdom. It will not, it cannot, it shall not. You got to remember, you do not belong to this body. It belongs to itself. And the day you try to give it another name and the word became flesh, now I'm going to turn you into your own worst nightmare. I'm going to turn you into your own worst nightmare. It's not worthy of you. But you're a free will being. And you're truly not free will because you belong to life. You're not free will. But in that world, you free will. You're free will. But you're not free will. because you still allowing people to tell you to take a vaccination and you living inside a perfect immunity called life. You still telling people to tell you about who you are. Remember in your mother's womb? Limb by limb, organ by organ, cell by cell, tissue by tissue, I formed you into my life. And you still taking your understanding from that tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It should be against the law of life, not the law of the world, not the law of man, not the law of human, not the law of religion, not the law of government, not the law of schools, not the law of conformity, but the law of life. To let anybody that is not one under that existence to lead life. Grand Rising Sissy, love you. If nobody has told you this today, you got to remember COVID-19 can't fight your battles. A pill can't fight your battles. Pastors can't fight your battles. Government can't fight your battles. Racists can't fight your battles. Sexists can't fight your battles. The only thing that can fight your battle, because you wage war inside of your own kingdom, is you. It's you, literally, who are the weapon. This is why you got to come out of the valley of the shadow of death and pass back over into life, because that's the only place where you're safe. Because the very truth is, you are the weapon, and you waging war against life, and now you messing with powers and principalities that you know nothing of. You waging war with the big boy, and you ain't gonna never win. I would never win. It wasn't worthy of me. And when I figured this out, I'm walking. I ain't looking back like Lot's wife. I ain't stopping. I'm not stopping. You can't stop me. You can't stagnate me. You can't do nothing. If I got to play dumb, if I got to do anything I got to do to ensure that life don't whoop my ass no more than it has already whooped on me, cursed on me, abused on me, hated on me, cursed on me, judged on me, blasphemed on me, I'm not turning back. I will never turn back. That is an abuse against itself. And no weapon formed against me shall ever prosper again, because the battle was never mine. I belong to something so agape, something so loving, something so beautiful, something so graceful, something so peaceful, something so merciful, that all it asks is for me to do, stand still and just let me be God over your life. If nobody has told you this today, beloveds, love and immunity. Bye, sis. Love you.